Hello folks, today we're going to be talking about Frankenstein, or Frankenstein's monster. We're going to be creating a little series here talking about all the Universal Studios monsters. Before we get started, I'd like you all to like, share, do all that good stuff, and let's get into it. Okay, I know what you're thinking. How does Frankenstein relate to you, your mythology channel? And to that I counter, not really. I'm sort of a occult, esoteric, and mythology channel. And there's a lot of occult and esotericism within Frankenstein and his story that I would like to touch on, along with covering briefly the sort of actual story of Frankenstein. Frankenstein is what's known as a flesh golem, or a constructed being made out of magic. We all know the historical Jewish Kabbalism behind that. Basically, you animate something by using various names and inscriptions of Hebrew that are powered by faith, by the sort of mystical and esoteric knowledge of the names of God. Well, Frankenstein is a little different. Instead of using mud and clay or other non-organic materials, he's made of organic materials. He is constructed from flesh, bone, and sinew, which gives him a sort of pseudo-life that can be powered much more easily and much differently than his mud counterparts. In the book, Victor Frankenstein was obsessed with alchemy and electricity, going off to an academy to study, and finally gaining the ideas to create sentient life without the need of God. It was a blasphemy, but he did it anyway because he wanted to prove something. He wanted to know the very bounds of life and death and see how they could be controlled and harnessed for the benefit of mankind. In truth, he was created by the greed of one man named Conrad Dibble. You see, he was a brilliant theologian and alchemist. Primarily, a lot of people disagreed with him and thought he was a fool and a heretic. Now, what they will never tell you is that he was a brilliant alchemist. He even managed to make a form of the elixir of life. Of course, they discredited this, but nevertheless, he pursued his research constantly. As I'm sure you can guess, this research was to create life. Imagine a being that never grew tired. Imagine what it could do. Construction, farming, industry. It could be a soldier, a warrior, anything you wanted it to be. And it would never grow sick, it would never get old, you wouldn't have to pay it. And that was the heart of his experimentation. Of course, it didn't go well for him. It never does when people try to play God. The idea of such a thing was frightening, and once the royals became aware of his work, they sent their guards to arrest him. They took him into custody and held him there for interrogation. Of course, his experiments escaped, and they roam to this day. Or they could have been destroyed. We don't really know. Anyway, that'll do it for this one, folks. If you would like a part 2, be sure to ask for one. And I will see you guys in the next one.